Hello, children. How is your week? How have you been, and how is the family as well as your mommy and your daddy? So today we'll continue on our programming class. So I'd like to invite Mr. Emmanuel Effiom to take us on this class, and trust me, to be an awesome class for you to learn everything you need to learn. Like I said in our last class, don't forget to do all your tasks, as they are very important to getting your certificate. Without this task, you won't be able to get your certificate signed and then given to you. So ensure you perform all the tasks and get ready for um, your your assessment, right? Your final assessment. So thank you so much, Mr. Manuel. Over to you.
All right, hello, good afternoon, guys. We meet once again. In our last class, we talked about what a computer is, and we talked about how a computer communicates with how the communication between the software and the hardware happens, then how computer remembers or stores data. So today we will look into programming, and we are going to find out what programming is, what a programming language is, and the different types of programming languages. So, intro to programming. First things first, we are going to say welcome to intro to programming. And we are today we are going to explain what programming means. So, first things first, let's say imagine you want to teach your friend how to make something. For instance, let's use example peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But your friend has never made it before, has never watched it made before, but needs very detailed instructions on how to do it. So you will tell your friend, you give your friend step-by-step instruction on how to do this. So first things first, you tell your friend, get 2 slices of bread, then open your peanut butter jar by turning the lid counterclockwise to the left. Pick up a knife by the handle. You put the knife inside of the peanut butter, scoop it out. You apply a little amount of the spread of the peanut butter you have gotten on your knife and spread it on the bread. Now, this is a simple instruction of how to do this, how to make a peanut butter and or jelly sandwich. Now, programming is exactly the same thing. What you do is you give super detailed instructions to your computer, but instead of teaching, you are not teaching a person, you are teaching your computer, or you are telling your computer what to do. You are telling it, when you encounter this or when you reach this point, when you see this, you do this. When you see that, you do that. Computers are incredibly powerful, but also incredibly literal. This simply means that what you say is exactly what it does. It does not understand intentions, neither does it understand context. Let me put it that way. It's just like telling someone, go and pick up that thing. If you tell a person, go and pick up that thing, and you point, the person will most likely follow your finger to what you are pointing at and then pick up that particular object. But if you tell a computer, go and pick up that thing, and there are multiple objects there, it does not know what it is going to carry. And most likely it will either carry everything or carry nothing. So this is what it means that by saying computer is incredibly literal. They do exactly what you tell them to do, nothing more, nothing less. Now, how do programming languages work? So think of programming languages like different human languages: English, French, Spanish, and so on and so forth. Just as you might speak English and the likes with different people, programmers use different languages to communicate with computers. So each of the different programming language or a programming language, one programming language is similar to English, the other one is similar to French, Spanish. In that context, there are many of them. Now, how does it work? How does programming work, or how does the programming language work? So first things first, you write instructions. The computer translates these instructions, then follows the instructions given. So for example, you may say you want your computer to add 5 plus 3. So what you will end up having is you have something like result is equal to 5 plus 3. At that point, what it is going to do is it is going to add 5 and 3 together, then store the sum, which is 8, inside of result. So result will end up like the container that is going to store the sum of 5 plus 3. So if you call on result, it is going to bring out the sum of 5 plus 3. So the computer understands this. This means take the number 5 and number 3 and add them together and remember the answer as result. So programming languages have rules, what you might call syntax, just like human languages have grammar rules. If you break the rules, the computer gets confused and cannot understand what you want to do. So these rules, which are also known as syntax, tell or arrange, give a structure, give form to each language. If you step away or if you stray, if you give it a wrong, if you make use of the wrong language or the wrong structure, the computer doesn't understand what you want and it will throw errors to you. And by throwing errors, it won't do what you are asking it to do. So now we look at the different types of programming languages. Just like there are different tools for different jobs or different languages, you wouldn't use a hammer to cut paper, right? Neither will you use a scissors to, let's say, climb a pole. There are different, each job with its own tools. There are different programming languages for different purposes. Some programming languages are all round, they are general, they are universal, while others are specific or specialized. So we look at the different programming languages. First one we'll look at is Python. Python is like a friendly, easy to learn language that is great for beginners. It can be used to create websites. It can be used for data analysis, which is an aspect or a career path in the tech industry. And it can be used for artificial intelligence. So Python is this friendly, easygoing programming language. It doesn't take much to learn or understand it. Then you have JavaScript. This is a language that is used to make websites interactive. By interactive, it means when you perform an action on the website, there will be a response. For instance, when you click a button on a website and something happens, that is most likely because of JavaScript. Then you have Java. Java is a very popular language. It is used to build large or bulky applications, heavy applications, like banking softwares or Android apps. So there is a high likelihood that the applications you are using, if you are making use of an Android device, the applications you use on your Android device is built using the Java programming language. Then we have C++. This is a very powerful but very complex language. The language is the exact opposite of Python, where Python is friendly and easy to learn. C++ is not friendly and it is not easy to learn. This language is used for things that need to run very fast. So for instance, games. or operating systems are built or made using C++ because it is fast. It is fast in carrying out its task. Then we have HTML and CSS. These work together to create structure and appearance of a website. This is used to build a website or to create a website. So you have HTML. HTML is more or less the skeleton of the website, while CSS is the makeup or the skin. The CSS makes it pretty. HTML makes it or gives it structure. So if we are to analyze that from the, let's say, a house aspect, HTML would be the blocks, the pillars that are used to erect a house, while CSS would be the plastering and the painting of that house. Then in installing of needed accessories or equipment in the house like lights, switches, fans, and all of that. So you see what HTML and CSS is. Then we have Swift. Swift is Apple's language for making iPhone, iPad, and MacBook applications. Scratch is a visual programming language designed specifically for children, for kids. So instead of typing code, you drag and drop color blocks. So we have Scratch, we have Swift, we have HTML, C++, Java, JavaScript, and Python. Now, take note that there are a lot more programming languages than this. These are just a few. If you want to know more programming languages, then I would advise you to perform a quick Google search. Now, in conclusion, a programming language is like, or programming is like having a conversation with a computer using special language that they can understand. That is what programming language is. The same way you have a conversation or you have a discussion with your friend. That is the same way a programmer discusses with a computer via the programming language. Now, every app on your phone, every video game you play, every website you visit was made by someone who learned programming. When you learn programming, you are not just talking to computers, you are learning to think differently. And this is a very important aspect because you will have to learn how to think the way a computer would think, how to analyze or how to receive and interpret instructions the way a computer would interpret instructions. So you are learning to think differently. You learn how to solve problems, big problems, by breaking them down into smaller pieces. Like, say, let's say a picture puzzle, a jigsaw puzzle, for instance, or something of that nature. So this is everything, or this is a summary of everything you need to know about programming and some of the programming languages that are in use right now. So we will stop there. Your assignment for today is for you to go home, is for you to make a proper research on the different types of programming, the numerous types of programming languages there are, and their extensions, their sub programming languages. Because some languages have the main programming language and a sub language, something that still falls under the main thing but works in a slightly different way. At this juncture, or at this point, we'll come to an end here. Thank you for joining today's class. We will meet again in our next class, which will be on Monday. Thank you very much, Mr. Morris. Over to you.
Come, director, ma. Go ahead, ma.
Hello, sir. Good evening. How are you guys doing?
Hello, Miss B.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Emmanuel. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for attending today's class. It was very, very educative. I actually learned a lot, and I have to compliment your slide. Really, it's really, really beautiful. I love your slide.
Thank you very
Anyways,
much.
you're welcome. Thank you for attending today's class, everyone. Is there any assignment for the weekend?
Yes, the assignment is for the children to go on and make a more in-depth search on the different programming languages. I just gave a few. I gave about six programming languages, six types of programming languages and their explanation. So they are to go on to search on more and their uses.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
All
So
right, thank you.
I haven't gotten any message from anyone as regards the assignment. So when you're rewatching this video again, please ensure that the previous assignment that was given, that you do it and you submit it, and the new one that has been given by your tutor, ensure that you also do it and submit as well. See you on Monday. All right. Well done, everyone. Bye.
Bye.